Do you remember your reaction when you first saw the video of last Friday's meeting between Volodymyr Zelensky and Donald Trump at the White House? Well, this hour has 22 minutes turned it into comedy gold.
You should be thankful. You have to say thank you.
Well, I did say thank you. I thank American people.
But you didn't thank me, and you have to thank me.
I thank American people.
You don't dress nice, you don't have a tie, you dress like it's gym day, quite frankly, and it's rude. You look like a millennial going to Starbucks. You got no buttons. It's a little too comfortable. You have to say thank you. We have a thing in America called manners.
Yes, I said thank you.
Shut up, you're a nasty man. Shut up and use your manners.
I said thank you.
Shut up, you're rude, no manners. You have to say thank you.
Makes me laugh every time. Mark Critch joins us now from Halifax. Mark, you and your team are killing it with these videos. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you. I much appreciate it.
Take us inside the process on that video. How did it come about?
Well, I think it was a Friday, and I was watching the news, and we were filming stuff for 22 that way. The way it works is we tape the live show Monday in front of the audience. We write on Tuesday. Wednesday, we pick the skits and get ready. And Thursday and Friday, we film them. And then they're played back in front of the audience Monday. And we had another sketch lined up to shoot live. And I saw that was happening. And so I texted Mike Allison, our showrunner, and said, I'm going to take a pass at writing a sketch about this right now. And I did, and I wrote it up and sent it to them, and then they sent it out to all the different departments right away. And so it was like, okay, throw out the other set for the live show Monday, get costumes, get a Zelensky costume ready, and then we just did it Monday in front of the audience. So I think the most fun we have and the best stuff we do is when it's really reactionary, and having the great team we have means we can kind of turn on a dime and chase the funny.
I know comedians often talk about needing to hear audience reaction to be sure whether something is funny or not. Did you have to wait for the audience, or did you know when you wrote it this was going to be gold?
Oh, I knew it'd work. Yeah, you see this, and whenever you're standing and you're watching something, and people say, oh, you're getting tired of Trump. It's like, he continues to amaze and surprise. I've never seen anything like that, and I'm standing there watching, my mouth was open. And I'm watching Zelensky and realizing that this is not his first language. He has to translate as well in his head and go, he can't mean that. Maybe I have this wrong. It can't possibly mean that. And then go, I guess, and then answer. And then everybody jumps on Donald to protect him, like they're throwing a blanket on a fire because, oh no, somebody's telling the king he's not wearing any clothes. And so it was just madness. So it was kind of a thing where we're going to do a different live sketch. And I was saying to Mike, well, this is what people are going to be talking about, right? And sometimes I think people expect us to do something about something. And so it seemed like the right thing.
The video is funny, and it's got an edge. And I want to quickly play another excerpt.
When I met with Putin, I said, thank you. I said it beautifully. I said, thank you so much. I said, I love you. And I shook his hand, and I bowed, and I licked his boot. And he said, it's not shiny enough. And I said, thank you. And I licked it again, and I made it so shiny. I really did.
Yes, but I am not a boot licker.
No, you're not the boot licker. Too good to lick a boot, and that's why you're losing, quite frankly. You don't have the cards.
So, Mark, in the first 2 days, that video had, I don't know, something like 1.3 million views. So when you look at those numbers and looking at the comments, a lot of Americans are among your audience. And so when you're that pointed in your humor, are you concerned that you're going to rile up the MAGA crowd?
You can't help but rile up the MAGA crowd. I think there's constantly these bots, which are generally Russian. I think that was just proven recently. There was one of these accounts that was outed, and they're all, pushing Trump accounts. Oftentimes you'll see comments from accounts that are like a MAGA hat or an American flag that's just been shouting Trump stuff. And then all of a sudden we'll post a script about Trump, and then all the comments will be these really concerned American flag avatars, all of a sudden very interested in Canadian sketch comedy. Somebody just pointed these things at it. So, but we get both sides, and we also get a lot of people from America saying, thank you. We found that refreshing. It's great to hear this. I'm glad that other people in the world feel the pain we're going through at the moment.
What restaurant chains are safe?
Boston Pizza, New York Fries. Basically, if there's an American city in the name, it's probably Canadian. Cheetos?
No.
Hawkins.
I like my cheesies soft.
There is no time for soft cheesies.
Not my Charmin. Look, I need that. I'm sensitive.
This is like wiping your arse with the Charter of Rights. Try Royale. If it sounds English or French, it's probably Canadian. What else is on your list?
Chips,
Hickory sticks.
orange juice,
Clamato juice.
Old El Paso taco kit,
Kraft dinner.
Frosted Flakes,
Kraft dinner.
and Kraft dinner.
2 boxes of Kraft dinner.
I thought Kraft was owned by Heinz.
Yeah, but KD is made in Canada. Ketchup bad, cheesy does good. What do you drink?
Jack Daniels.
Crown Royal.
Right, because if it sounds English or French,
It's probably Canadian.
Right.
Welcome to the fight, soldier.
All right, let's bring back Mark Critch, who's in Halifax. Mark, that video's been out for, I guess, about a month. Still makes me laugh. What kind of reaction have you been getting?
It's interesting. People thought it was funny, but a lot of people seem to find it to be like a rallying cry, you know? And I know there were T-shirts made and stuff saying, you know, war's no time for soft cheesies. And it was shared a lot. And people were kind of using it, then having these conversations in the comment sections where there was a lot, you know, patriotism and talking about what Canadian products you can buy and how, you know, I think the grocery lines are the front lines, and people, when we see that we are, if you take like things like bourbon and things like that, it is having an effect. And people are, senators and representatives are reaching out to the Trump administration saying, look, this is hurting us. This is hurting our bottom line. The car companies were ticked off about the tariffs. Now that's being pushed a month. So yeah, we're small, but we can be mighty when we work together, and the mouth will roar.
I know a lot of people, I'm sure you do too, who are angry and they're anxious about Trump and what he's doing these days. What's it like being a comedian in these times?
Well, it's interesting because in Canada, sometimes, you know, we don't pay attention to each other that much, and we can get concerned with our regional problems and stuff. But and oftentimes we don't have that thing that TV used to be, where there was a couple of channels in the whole country kind of shared the same experience around it. But with topics like these, you get a shared experience, and that's something we can all relate to. And it's something that when you're worried about something and scared about something, comedy can be a bit of a bandage on that, and it could be a laughing at something, it could be a reminder that we will get through it and we are in it together. And you have to have common ground really to laugh at something. And I think it can be a powerful tool, you know, because I think it can be like a pat on the back when things get tough.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to play another brief excerpt from that video.
Mrs. Butterworth, you were going to buy American maple syrup?
Oh. Okay, that costs way more.
So does freedom. What the hell is that?
My Timmy's. What? Timmy's is Canadian.
Not anymore. It's Brazilian now. Buy second cup.
Oof. Maybe we just don't buy coffee for a while.
That's fair.
This is one of the great things, Mark, about having homegrown comedy. The Tim Hortons, the second cup references are funny, but they're also familiar for a lot of Canadians. But I'm curious, did you get any complaints from the companies you poke fun at?
No, we did. Hawkins Cheesy sent us a big box of cheesies and said, thanks for mentioning us, which was very nice. But, you know, you do get people saying, like, well, actually, there is one plant in Regina that is, you know, like, I know we're talking, you know, generally speaking, you know, so you do get a bit of that.
I'm curious, and we have about a minute for this, but when you're as successful as you guys are right now, you have this string of videos with more than 1 million views. Do you start feeling pressure and think to yourself, you know, the next video has got to be a hit or else it's going to be disappointing for us?
No, that'll screw with your head. You just got to keep doing what you do and hope that people like it, and try and, you know, keep the quality up and laugh yourself. You know, the great thing about this job is we do get to laugh at work. And if we're laughing, generally Canadians are laughing. And it's a great reminder that people do watch Canadian content. Surprise, surprise. They do watch the CBC and share the CBC. And I know there are certain politicians who disagree, but some of these things can be a bit of proof of that.
Well, you are cranking out the hits. You are the Taylor Swift of Canadian comedy right now, and keep it up, man.
That's going to be my first tattoo on my back, the Taylor Swift of Canadian comedy, Ian Hanomansing.
Excellent. I feel I've accomplished all my goals, Mark. Thank you very much for speaking with us.
My great pleasure. Congrats on all your success on the show. It's great.